And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport for the player rating show. Going to be an interesting show, actually, because obviously there's a lot of disappointment, and we can understand that because we have come up short with the Rugby Championship. And wasn't the best. It was a very scrappy game of rugby, it must be said. The actual quality of rugby today, not very good, unfortunately. I don't think that. I don't think we really did enough to win the rugby championship. Probably didn't deserve it after today's performance. And I think the biggest thing is you can look back at sort of the Ellis Park game, and I think that was probably where where it really came up short. There were also things that we couldn't really control. I mean, Argentina getting pumped by 50 was a big turning point because that's a massive difference. You take away that game. And all of a sudden it's a whole different ball game. So we needed 39 points deficit to try and make up, and we just weren't going to get there. And especially the way we started was well. I said we dominated Argentina a lot over the course of the game, and it did help by the fact that they conceded, I think it was 22 penalties, which is ludicrous. We conceded 17. 39 penalties in total is a very big issue. That World Rugby needs to look at, because we can't have games like today. We can't have a game taking that long. We can't have 6 yellow cards. We can't have 39 penalties. But I think the important thing is in this player rating is to rate the performance of today's match. And bearing in mind that we did win by 17 points. Should we have won by more? 100%. Was it our best game? Probably not. I think if we had scored another try, and it was about 40... sort of 45, 46 or whatever, 14, and then you sit there going, well, we couldn't have done much more. But, it was, again, we won a game. We did dominate a lot. I don't think we had a little bit of a scare. We came back quite nicely. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing about this Rugby Championship is I think it has answered a lot of questions, but also maybe frustratingly asked a lot of questions. And I think that going into the end of your tour, we've got a lot of things to look at and to address, which is a little bit worrying a year on from the World Cup. But I think that there are some very big decisions that we need to make about some very big name players. And I'm referring to the likes of Peter Steph-Toy. I'm referring to the likes of France Day. I'm referring to the likes of Dwayne Vierder, maybe. Players who need Leroux, who's going hot and cold. He has had some good games for the Boks, so we can't discount those. But I think that we are a year out, and there are some very important players for the Boks who are not stepping up at the moment. And they need to step up, or they need to step out at the end of the day, because we've got lots of players who are knocking on the door. So let's look at the player rating, shall we? Before we do, I actually need some nominations for man of the match. I like to put Siya Kolisi there. I thought he played very well. I think Steven Kitshoff deserves a shout, even Frans Maherbe, for that front row performance we saw from them. Apart from that, Damon Jalendi did make a lot of ground when he did carry the ball. Would like to see him pass a little bit more. Visa I thought was very good. But who have you got for man of the match? Give me some options. I'm seeing Hansi saying Visa. Any other options yet? People, I need at least 2 or maybe 3 options for man of the match. Probably has to be a forward, for example. I don't think too many players in the backline did cover themselves with much glory. Damon Jalendi made a lot of meters in attack, beating 6 defenders, but also missed 3 out of 7 tackles. So I'm seeing a couple of shots for Visa. Jasper Visa. I saw Siya Kolisi chat. Any other nominations now? Okay, Jasper Visa is already there. Any other nominations? Stian says Marks again. So I'm seeing 1 shout for Marks. I'm seeing a shout for Siya. No one's giving the poor front rows enough. MC is going with Siya as well, so you can put Siya Kolisi in. That's the second person that's mentioned his name. Third person that's mentioned Siya's name. Give me a third option here. You've got to. I think that Frans Maherbe or Steven Kitshoff deserve a shout. I'm seeing 2 Frans Maherbe shouts there. I mean, Steven Kitzel didn't miss a single tackle, carried the ball at 3 times, and they absolutely decimated them at scrum time. So I'm going to put France Maherba in. You can probably leave it at those 3, to be honest. Yeah, let's put those out. Right, so we've got nominations there for man of the match. And then we come on, why YouTube's been so slow today? It's been driving me up the wall. I wonder if it's going to be an issue for us later when we try to do the Lions versus Ospreys watch along. It's so slow. Just post, damn it. Can't work like this. Can't work in these conditions. I'm resigning. I'm leaving. I'm hanging up the Forever Sports Future Channel boots because the YouTube is just not cooperating at the moment. Is the poll up? It doesn't look like it's up on my phone, and it's going round and round in circles on my flipping PC. What is going on here, people? Please let me know if the poll is up, because I need to get that up before we can move on. It's just going round and round in circles. You see, it's not got up. Let me try another tab. Who was your man of the match? Jasper Visa, Sia Khaleesi, or France Malherbe. Right, let's try this again. Let's see if that's also going. There we go. That seems to have gone through. So cool. So we'll move there. Right. So now we're going to go through the players. Right. Steven Kitsoff, as I said, I don't think he did an absolute thing wrong. As I said, three carries, 5 meters gain, 1 defender beaten, an offload, a pass, 4 tackles, huge scrum time. I think Kitsoff's sitting in around 7-8 territory, potentially an 8 actually. I think that both props are probably going to be sitting around an 8. I'm going to refresh this page as well, just to make sure that we've got some people whose voting might still be coming in, going in there. But I am going with an 8 for Steven Kitsoff. I think he was pretty good today. From a prop point of view, I'll settle for a 7. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's a bit harsh because, yeah, that, as I said, we won every single scrum. 100% scrum success rate. Big shift from the front row. Malcolm Marks, 4 carries, 9 tackles, no missed tackles, 2 turnovers, 1, 50 meters gain, a defender beaten, and lineouts were pretty good. So I'm going to give him an 8 as well. 7.5, a little bit higher than Kitsoff, and then France Maherba for me as well. From a tight end, what are you going to ask more from him? He made 1 tackle, 1 carry, hit a lot of rucks, got a lot of hard work done, and his scrummaging was just brilliant. So I'm going to give him an 8 as well. 7.5, happy with that. Even Etzebeth, it was pretty solid. He stole a couple of lineouts, didn't really manage to get involved so much under the high ball, which he often does. If we look at his game's numbers, he's got 2 carries, 5 tackles, 1 tackle missed, 1 turnover, 1. He did get a yellow card, which usually you'll drop a point for that. But it was the most ludicrous yellow card ever, considering that the person that he allegedly pushed didn't actually impact the play at all. It was a weird yellow, very weird. So I think I can't feel quite aggrieved about it. I'll probably give Evan a 7. 6.5, I think it's a bit harsh. Luet, for example, let's see what his game reads in numbers. Luet de Jager made 11 tackles, missing just 1. He made 5 carries, 9 meters gain, 1 defender beaten, offloaded a pass. Oh, Luet was pretty good, actually. I thought that he tried very hard. As I said, makes a lot of tackles. He gets a lot, and a couple of important tackles as well. 7 seals a bit harsh, but I'll give him a 7. I'm going to see what 7.5. I think that's probably about right from a 2-loss perspective. I thought Sia was very good. I thought Sia. I said he's a big game player, and today once again really did rise to the occasion. Stats maybe don't reflect it as much as maybe they could have. Because if you look at his interventions, some very big tackles, obviously a try scored, but 11 tackles, 1 missed, 12 meters made, 1 defender beaten on the 3 carries, did score a try. Big game player. That's the big thing about him. He's a very big game player. So I'll give Sia an 8, 7.5. PSF the toy. What are we going to do about PSF the toy, chaps? What are we going to do? Because he's just not. It's just not happening for him at the moment. And former World Player of the Year becomes a very difficult person to drop. But Franco Mostert outplaying him. He is outplaying him. 3 carries, 5 tackles, 2 missed tackles. It says two turnovers, one, but 2 turnovers conceded. Yeah, I thought he was very bang average. In fact, almost poor, to be honest. I'll probably give him a 6 for being average. Actually, I'll probably give him a 5. I thought he was actually poor. 5, yeah, I think that's pretty fair on him. I'd like to see him playing in South Africa again. Somebody I was very impressed with was Jasper Wiese. I thought that I think he'll probably be leading our man of the match poll. There's a lot of talk about Evan Roos, and I can understand it, but I don't think Jasper Wiese is doing anything right now to warrant being dropped. 8 carries, 7 tackles, no missed tackles, a turnover 1, a try scored off the back of the scrum. Very physical game from Jasper Wiese. I think at the moment, if you were to swap Evan Roos for Dwayne Vermeulen off the bench, I think that's a very nice combination. And personally, I think you could be looking at Franco Moster starting and Albert Lowe coming off the bench. So very impressive from Jasper Wiese. I'm going to give him an 8. 8, yeah, that's fine. It's the highest one so far. Jaden Hendrickson. Made a try-saving tackle, it must be said. 4 tackles made, turnover 1 as well. I thought his service was all right. I mean, we did control the game pretty well. He's playing pretty good rugby. Again, you can't shout at him for the game plan, for example, for his kicking. But when he does kick, I think his are usually quite competitive. I think he does kick contestable kicks. So I'll probably give him a 7. I think he was quite tidy. 6.5, that's fine. And then we got France Steyn. And what do we do with France? Because he wasn't good at the end of the day, I think is the biggest issue. Missed touch 3 times from a penalty, which you can't do. I mean, that's a cardinal sin. Cardinal sin. He got charged down. The backline was non-existent. How often did Damien de Lindy carry and then pop up for France Steyn? He just wasn't there. I think it has to be a 3, unfortunately, for France. I just didn't think he was good. 3.5, so I went a little bit lower than most people. Yeah, it's frustrating because, as again, it asks questions about whether we can rely on him for the World Cup. Is he still the France Steyn? And the sad thing is, look, he's playing out of position. He shouldn't have played fly half, but the mistakes he made were mistakes he shouldn't have been making, no matter what position he was. If he was at 15, for example, kicking for touch, you can't be not getting into touch. You maybe can't lay into him for not being able to suddenly put, David Delindy, Jesse Krill into gaps and stuff like that. But I just thought his basics weren't good enough today. Hopefully, we're going to see a good season from him at the Cheetahs. I'm hoping he's going to go back, play some more games, and we can really sort of judge him on there. But just wasn't really up for it today. Mapimpi as well, very quiet game from him. Not too much, didn't really manage to contest that much. He made 3 tackles, didn't miss a tackle, 40 meters game, 1 defender beaten. He works hard as Mapimpi, which is why he's a big part of why he's in the team. But I think an average performance is probably fair. 5.5 seems a bit harsh, but yeah. What I think we do know about France Steyn is we don't put him at 10. Does he still have a future maybe at 15 and 12 off the bench? Maybe he does. But I think what we saw today is we can't start him at 10 at the end of the day. We've got to look at bringing a fly half in. Mapimpi was influential in the try. Which try? The second try. So he did draw and pass, but a try assist. But I don't think it was that big of an intervention to bump him up much more than a 6, personally. Damien de Lindy had a very frustrating game. His defense wasn't great. He missed a few tackles. On the attack, it must be said that he did find a lot of meters. 51 meters gained, 6 defenders beaten. So I'd say on attack, I would like to see him offload a little bit more. There was that early opportunity where he had inside he had Hendrickson, outside he had Mapimpi, held onto the ball and then didn't let go of it and see the penalty, which was really frustrating. He's so close to being everything we want him to be. Just every now and again bringing in offloaded, I think is probably what we want from him. So based on that and probably his defense, probably a 6. I think that's very harsh. I think it's very unfair because he did get us over the gain line, but yeah, there's a harsh rating for France. 6.5 is a better rating. Yeah, I think it's pretty poor, to be honest. Jesse Creel. I'm very interested to see what everybody says about Jesse Creel. I don't think Jesse Creel could have done anything better than today. He conceded a penalty after making a very good tackle. If you look at his stats, for example, he made 7 tackles, missing 1. He won a turnover, made some pretty big tackles as well. Got the ball twice, by the way. Got the ball twice. I think it was. It doesn't actually have it yet because they don't even bother putting it in there because he didn't run the flip, but didn't get the ball in at all. So it's difficult to sit there saying we're so one-dimensional, Jesse Creel. I mean, the guy was even running. Like, he was running lines. He was asking for the ball. But he literally got the ball. I mean, I know he passed. It doesn't even say he's got a carry, which he obviously definitely did. But he did. He was very influential in that last try, for example. Probably more influential than Pimpy. Running to the space, drawing and work hard. But I'll probably give him a 7. I think defensively he made a couple of very important interventions. That's a joke. Do you guys actually understand? You see, I'm seeing somebody here giving 4 for Jesse. Based on what? Literally, what do you want him to do? And I'm actually going to sit here and wait for somebody to answer. Like, yes, we know he's defensively orientated. Great. But what's he supposed to do when he's not getting the ball? He's running. He had 2 carries. The one was a pretty stock standard carry. Got over the gain line. And then the other one, he drew 2 defenders, put Mapimpi and Kurt Lawrence away, and ran a support line. But the entire time, by the way, there was an inside ball available for Mapimpi to score the try. And there was an inside ball from Kurt Lawrence to Creel to score the try. He carried it twice. And we could sit there saying we missed Lekanya but if Lekanya played exactly the same game today and had exactly the same opportunities that Creel had, he would have done nothing differently and nothing better. That's a fact, by the way. I'm telling you, right, that's just a fact. Lekanya if he had the exact same opportunity and quality opportunity today, would have done the same thing as Creel. You know? If Lekanya had done what Creel had done at the end, draw 2 players, pass, move in, we all be like, see, that's why he's the best player in the world. Creel does it, and the guy's getting a 4 for 2 carries and a really good defensive performances. And the tackles he made some big tackles, eh? Not like, just bringing him down, like some gain line tackles, really dominant tackles. So this rating over here is just so poor. And again, we can't just magic up that if Lekanya had played, we suddenly would have turned into this incredible attacking player team, which would have scored 45 points. Lekanya a phenomenal player. I'm one of his biggest fans. But it's just. Yeah, I just feel sorry for the guy because he did nothing wrong today, and he just gets actually that wasted. And unfortunately, get used to it because Lekanya out for the rest of the season. He's not playing the end of year tour. And is Jesse Creel going to start ahead of Lekanya? No, he's not. We know he's not. But is he doing a job at the moment? Yes. And does he deserve more opportunity with ball in hand? He definitely does. The guy scored, I think, 50 test points. He scored about 30, I think that's more than that. I think he's scored about 10 or 12 tries to his name. So give him an opportunity with ball in hand, and if he doesn't do anything, then great. But the poor lad can only do what he gets opportunity to do. Kane Moody made a couple of very good tackles. Very nice defender. I think that's the biggest reason why they back him at this level. He missed 1 tackle. You can see 2 turnovers. 38 meters gain. I'll probably give him a 7. I think it's very solid. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from Kane Moody. 7.5 is probably a bit high. And then Willie Leroux, he got sat down by Gonzalez. Yeesh! That was painful to watch. That was the only tackle he was actually asked to make, and he missed it. Which doesn't read well, unfortunately. 1 missed tackle, 2 turnovers made, 2 turnovers conceded, 10 meters gained, 2 passes. Yeah, unfortunately, another pretty ordinary effort from Willie Leroux. I'll probably give him a 4. Which is a pity because he's actually been playing 2.5. Again, that's a vendetta thing because Willie Leroux was not worse than France Day. The sad thing is that Willie Leroux is coming off 2 good games. He played well in the last couple of games. He's made a genuine difference to our attack when he did play. But today just wasn't there, unfortunately. Then that step was pretty criminal. Bongi Manambi had 9 minutes, so I'm just going to give him a 6. There's not much to rate there, to be honest. Good old top dog back at the park. In fact, he gets a 7. It's a bit laughable, to be honest. Oxenchair played 23 minutes. He made 3 tackles, missed 1, 2 carries, making 2 meters. I'd say average. 7 for Ox. People are being generous. And Vincent Clark as well. Yeah, I think was solid. Nothing particularly special. Yeah, nice turnover though. I actually might give Vincent 7. To be fair to Oxenchair, actually, I'll give him a 7 as well for that scrum. Those two came on and also scrummed very well. 7.5 on them, I think that's pretty fair, actually. Franco Mostert played about 40 minutes less than he should have played. He ended up playing 10 minutes. I don't understand why he went on so late. So, yeah. So, what are we saying here? Looking at a couple of things. System is broken. The system's actually fine. It's people rating him as chosen. Billy LaRue is a playmaker, but he has massive risk on defense, 100%. Sorry, mate, but Creel's a pedestrian. We have better players, but Nias haven't even tried them. You could have put Conrad Smith at outside center today. I don't think it would have made a difference. 100% would have made a difference. This whole thing of Creel is pedestrian. Have you seen him run? Creel is many things. Many things. He is not a flair player. He's not got a phenomenal step. He's not got a wild offload game. He is not slow, though. So this whole thing about him being pedestrian. He made a couple of good covering tackles today where he had to get across and make a tackle. So he's definitely not pedestrian. He's not slow. He's a lot of things, but he's not slow. So Frank, I'll give it a 6. It should have been starting at the end of the day. Dwayne Vermeulen. I mean, Dwayne Vermeulen, he made 45 meters. He had a very nice take out the air. He made 3 tackles. He missed tackle. Dwayne would have. Yes, he would have. He has to have no one in front of him. Huh? What? So Conrad Smith would have made a difference if there's nobody in front of him. Okay. Well, there wasn't. There were people in front of him. That's a weird comment. Dwayne Vermeulen wasn't bad today. He wasn't actually bad. Let's be honest. He came on. He made no mistakes. Is he what we need? Is he bringing on an impact? Is he bringing a different level to the game? I don't think he is. Unfortunately. And I do think that there's a very... I mean, he came on and he wanted... You could see he really wanted to... He really wanted to try and add impetus. And he had a very strong carry. And look, I think today, for example, was probably one of Dwayne Vermeulen's better performances. So, I mean, I'm not going to give him a 6. I'll probably give him a 7. I think he was actually quite good when he came on. The issue comes with Dwayne Vermeulen is he worth leaving out Ulrich Lowe and Evan Roos and the likes? Marco Mustardin if he gets back into form, for example. Marcel Coetzee, for example. I think Marcel Coetzee, Dwayne Vermeulen, I don't think got a bit of a coin toss, to be honest. But I think that's the issue. And it's not so much a Dwayne Vermeulen issue. It's more of the people that he's being played ahead of, instead of. I think there's a lot Dwayne Vermeulen offers the box from an experience, from a leadership perspective. For example, if he goes to the Rugby World Cup and doesn't play, he'll be on water the entire World Cup, best as an extra coach. So it's interesting to see what happens with Dwayne Vermeulen because he's not playing badly. He's not making mistakes. But is he contributing what others could? And that's kind of the conundrum we're at with Dwayne Vermeulen. Quacker Smith, once again, lots of energy on. Won a good turnover, wanted to get over the advantage line. Yeah, he looked good again. I mean, he's so settled in that bench, this Quacker Smith. Played a bit of scrum off as well. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Quacker Smith. I'll probably give him a 7. 7, yeah, we're bang on the money there. Faf de Klerk came on, got a yellow card, which probably deserved. Made a couple of tackles, was pretty ordinary. I'll probably give him a 4. We need to sort him out. 4.5, yeah, it's about right. Then Kurt Lawrence, he actually looked very good when he came on. He made 60 meters, 2 defenders beaten, 1 pass, a tackle, a missed tackle, 1 try. Your try, I'll give him a 7 for his try. So, and there we go, 7. I think that's pretty fair. Right, the man of the match, however, you have voted. 168 people have voted. And your man of the match today was Jasper Wiese with 60% of the votes. In second place, we got Serk Lisi with 30%. And then Frans Malherbe with 9%. So that is your man of the match as voted by you, the people. And that's it, really. That is the last Springbok game until November, which is very sad, isn't it? What's going to happen until before then? Now, this is where the frustrating thing is. PSF Pretoria will not play rugby until then. Paf de Klerk will not play rugby until then. Which is frustrating because those players are players not playing particularly well and need game time. Dwayne Vermeulen, however, will hopefully play rugby. I'm hoping that they will send him back to Ulster. He will be able to get at least 2 or 3 games. Just 2. I'll take 2. For example, other players who need game time, France Day needs game time. Hopefully he'll go play a bit for the Cheetahs. Kenan Moody will continue to play for the Bulls, so that's fine. As will Kirkley Arendse, so that's fine. Jesse Creel won't play rugby until the end of your tour. And that's a bit frustrating because you really feel that if we can get Jesse Creel game time, then at least we can try and get him into some form. Because at the end of the day, guys, he's our outside centre. And to be perfectly honest, no one in this country is really bashing the door down from an outside centre perspective. Yes, you can go Ruan Nel, who's a very good option. You can go. They can't go Cornel Hendricks because of the health issues and stuff like that. So whatever the issue is there, they can't call him up. There's no outside centre right now who is banging the door down. Similani was playing outside centre, playing well. Look at Henkoff and Bake, for example, had a fantastic game last week. If he has another fantastic couple of games in the next few weeks, then maybe you take him on the end of your tour and you play him in the SAA games. But at the moment, we don't have an outside centre who's in. Ruan Nel is also not currently playing, which doesn't help. I don't actually know what his injury is. So for all I know, he could actually be out for the World Cup or for the end of your tour. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. The reason I'm talking about this is that he is our outside centre for the end of your tour. There's no doubt about that. He is the option. So we need to get him playing well. And unfortunately, how do we get him playing well when he's not going to play rugby? And this is the problem with Japan-based players. And look, it's not a rule across all of them that Japan-based players are not good enough, because you've got Kwaka Smith who's playing well. You've got Frank Amos who's playing well. You've got Lua Tiaga who's now Japan-based playing well. He did come off a premiership season, but these guys are now Japan-based. So, it's a tricky one. But, again, else we need to maybe look outside the box, outside South Africa. Maybe we need to look at Raymond Roulette, an outside centre. Maybe we need to look at Jan Serpente. Jan Husse, maybe. What? I mean, I wouldn't. But let's see how he goes in the next few games. Maybe he can potentially do a role at centre. I don't know. I don't know what we do, but that's the problem, is that we can't get game time into the Japan players, Japan-based players. Whereas, Ruan Nokia, Salman Murat, Albert Lowe, all these players are going to go and play 2-3 things. Carter Paul, if you're saying that Rule can't tackle, I'd assume you haven't watched him in the last 12 to 18, 24 months. Because Raymond Rule has become one of the best defensive players in the European champions team at the moment. He was actually a clip last week of a huge hit he made. He's been a revelation at 13 and 14 for La Rochelle, who are currently the European champions. Man can defend. He's very much learned how to defend. But yeah, we've got a month break, so we're going to be fully into the URC, which will be kicking off in half an hour. So we'll see you guys there. So please do come join me, people, because I need company. It's the Lions. We're playing against a very good Osprey side that has George North, Adam Beard, Thomas Francis, Justin Tipperick, Adam Jones, Dan Lydiot. My goodness. So I'm not happy about that situation. But anyway, we're going to try and do our best on the Lions, because that's what we do at the Lions. We try our best. Let's see you in half an hour. Please do come and join me, though, because I really appreciate the company. Apart from that, thank you very much. Springbok fans, we'll see you in a month's time. But we've got so much rugby before then. So let's go and get into the URC and build up for what will be a very cool end of year tour. As always, thank you very much for spending time with me. And I will chat to you guys